talking about sergers and how to gather with them, how to do some different stuff. So I'm really excited to talk to you about them. So when you join our feed, if you want to let us know where you're from, Sandra's from Brampton. Welcome, Sandra. I'm so excited. We've got 17 people already, so that's really exciting. So we're talking about sergers this week, and we're talking about how you can use them. Janome Man had really great tips about cleaning and maintaining them, which was excellent. And so today we're going to talk about gathering and how you can gather with your serger. So there is, on most sergers that are available, there's something called a differential feed. And so the differential controls how the feed dogs work in a serger. So in a serger, you know how on a sewing machine you have one set of feed dogs and it sort of works together. A serger has two different feed dogs that work with the speed and how everything is going on your machine. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a serger differential. So I'm going to flip the camera here so that we can have a look-see here. Okay, so this is what the serger bed looks like. And so Janome sergers have drop-off feet, just like sergers, just like our sewing machines. So when you take that foot off, you can see that there are two sets of feed dogs. There's one at the front and one at the back. So the differential controls how fast this front one moves so that it can gather fabric. So when your differential is set to a higher number, this is going to move faster, and so it's going to create the gathers. The other thing that you need to do with gathering on your serger is you need to increase your needle tension. And that really makes the it creates the stitches and helps them to be nice and tight. So this is just a basic serger that I'm working with today. Some of our sergers have more feed dogs, which improves the performance of the differential. So the differential is a different knob than the stitch length knob. So right now my stitch length is set to about a 3. And I have my differential at a 2, but I'm just going to put it to 1.5 so that we can see the differences between how the differential works. So I'm going to put the camera down and put that foot back on. I apologize for any seasickness moments. My camera holder is not working this morning. All right, so we've got that foot in there. So the best thing that I suggest, sorry, you can look at me now for a minute. When you are gathering with a serger, you want to use 1 layer of fabric. If you try to use 2 layers, it could end up tangling your stitches over the needle and you could break a needle, or you could affect the timing of your machine. So just 1 layer. Now, if you have a heavier weight fabric, then this is another really good way that you can gather with your serger. And it involves using a piece of yarn or cord and sewing with the cord on the edge. If you can see that there, it's green. So, and you tie a knot at the end. And so then when you want to gather it, you can just pull on the string and it gathers it. So that's a way to get really nice tight gathers if you were doing rosettes or anything like that. And then obviously take care not to sew over the string. And I had my knife down for that part so that I wouldn't accidentally cut the string. So that's one way you can gather with a serger. So I have some strips of fabric that are 10 inches. And what I want to do with these strips of fabric is I'm going to use them as samples, right? Because I want to know what my settings produce with each time that I do this. So I'm using 10-inch strips of fabric, and the first one I'm going to use is my stitch length is at about a 3, and I'm going to use a differential of 1.5. So let's see what happens. And I will move the camera in just 1 second. All right, so here we are. Everything is all set up here. And so I'm going to start sewing. And hopefully we'll see, you can see it gathering there at the back. And I think I have a thread stuck somewhere, so let's just have a look and see what we did. So I'm gonna lift up my presser foot and pull those threads out. Okay, now let's see. So we can see we got some nice gathers here. I think it may have been affected with where the thread got caught, so we will try that again. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pull it. And this is a really neat tip that I'm going to show you about taking serger stitches out. So with my seam ripper, which is right here, so you see on the threads, if we can get that to zoom properly, this is the looper and then your 2 needle threads. If you go right between here, and you can pick up that needle thread, you see that loop that I made right here? You can pull up that needle thread and pull it right out. And then the same with the bottom one. So the bottom stitch, you actually need to get those loops spread apart. You see right here, those loops need to be spread apart, and that's the strand that you want, because that's the needle thread. If you happen to grab the loop, then it's just gonna be a hot mess. So there is an easy peasy way to unthread or to frog out serger stitches. So I'm going to try that one again with the 1.5 differential and make sure that my threads aren't stuck this time. Okay, all right. So we can see we're starting to have gathers at the back. Oh, and I think I just broke a needle. All right, so needle breaks happen to everybody. So as you can see, we've got our little strip of gathers here, and it's gathered quite nicely. So that is how you can gather with your serger. It involves changing your differential, so making those front feed dogs work faster than the back ones, and then also tightening up your needle thread tension. So mine were tightened up to about an 8, and then adjusting your stitch length. I used about a 3, and that can give you really beautiful gathers. So these are my little samples from before. So I'm not going to bore you with changing the needle on my serger, but this is how you can gather really easily using your serger. So we also just want to take a minute to remind everybody that our dealers, many of them are still open, and they are accepting machines for servicing or maintenance. And also we have a drop shipping promotion right now, so you can purchase a new sewing machine through your dealer and they will ship it directly to your door. So you can shop in your PJs and receive it in your PJs, and you don't even have to leave the house. And as well, please stay tuned to our Instagram lives, which is alternating days at 11 a.m. Mountain, so 10 Pacific and at 1 Eastern. It is Serger Week this week, so Michael is coming back on Friday, Janome Man, and he's going to talk about doing a rolled hem. So Lynn from Cape Cod, she says, missed the beginning. Are you using 3-thread flat lock? No, I was using a 4-thread serge with my serger to do that gathering, although you could also do a 3-thread gathering with your machine as well, and that would definitely reduce the bulk of the stitching. So make sure you take take time to self-care and all those things, look after yourselves and have lots of fun sewing. And you can also join our American counterparts, Janome America. They're doing Facebook Lives every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's really exciting. We've got lots of content for you. Oh, you're welcome, Lynn. So I hope we answered some questions about gathering, and we'll get this video loaded up to YouTube. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.